morning. It's another Getting Real with Ashleydawn. I'm Ashleydawn. What up? So I want to do a video this morning to encourage y'all about boundaries, okay? The thing we all need and most of us don't have. So I have my heat on and I'm wearing my cute little Poppy sweater because I love Poppy. If I had a cartoon character made after me, it would probably be her because she makes scrapbooks and she loves people and she loves to hug and she loves to sing and to dance and sparkles and pretty things. Anyway, so it's a little chilly in South Florida. Let's see. It is 52 degrees. And some of y'all that are up north are watching this. My Cincinnati peeps, what up? And you're like, Ashleydawn, you used to go outside with a tank top in 52 degree weather. Well, honey child, I am a Florida girl and it's a little cold. And I would say Florida cold is different than Cincinnati cold. It's a different kind of cold. Anyway, it's like a wet cold. It gets you. So I turned on my little heater today. Well, if you turn your heater too far to the right, you'll burn yourself. It gets real hot. So you got to turn it at the perfect level, perfect temperature. If you go too far one way, you'll get burned. If you go too far one way, you'll get cold. What are you saying, Ashleydawn? Well, even the heat control has boundaries. Even your air conditioner has boundaries. Why is that important for your air conditioner? Well, it'll tell you how hot or how cold your car will be. It'll also tell you how hot or how cold your house will be. Why is that important? Because when you set a boundary in your life, you get to determine how hot or how cold you will be. How kind or how unkind you will be. When you set a boundary and you say, okay, this person can only go this far. I'm going to put this boundary up so that they can't hurt me anymore, so that they can't take advantage of me anymore. You're protecting yourself. Just like I'm protecting myself from not getting burnt if I turn my little dial on my heat too high. I don't want to get burnt. Or last week I had staples in my head and I couldn't blow dry my hair. Why? Because staples are metal. And if you blow dry metal, your scalp will be scalding hot and it'll hurt. It'll burn you. So I put my little blow dryer on low so that I wouldn't burn myself. I set a boundary so I wouldn't hurt myself. Boundaries, a lot of times people think, oh, you're putting a wall up, you're blocking somebody. No. Boundaries are protection. Okay? Do you have a lock on your door at your house? Yes, you do. Do you lock it when you go to sleep? Yes, you do. Why? So that people with bad intentions won't break into your house. So that people with bad intentions won't help themselves to anything that they want. You have locks in your car? Yeah. Why do you lock your car? So that people with ill intentions won't do something they shouldn't be doing. You set a boundary for your car. You set a boundary for your house. Well, the stuff in your house, most of it can be replaced. The stuff in your car, most of it can be replaced. So if you're setting a boundary for things that can be replaced, how much more important is setting a boundary for your heart, setting a boundary for your soul, setting a boundary. See, it's getting too hot. I gotta turn it down. Setting a boundary for your spirit. Sometimes we allow people to influence us in ways we shouldn't really be letting them influence us. For instance, maybe you're talking to somebody. Maybe you're dating a guy. Maybe you're trying to get to know somebody. Maybe, if you're a guy listening, you're dating a girl. And she's asking you all kinds of questions. And these questions make you feel some kind of way. They kind of make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. Well, here's the deal. You are allowed to tell them, hey, I don't feel comfortable answering that question. I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't know you well enough. And that's just a personal question. And I don't feel comfortable answering that. You're allowed to say that. That's called creating a healthy boundary. If your boss wants to know too much information and they're all up in your Kool-Aid and they want to know, well, maybe you requested time off for work. This has happened to me before. And your boss is like, well, where are you going? They almost hit me. Good night, Almighty. Stay in your lane. What are you doing, girl? Good night. She literally was trying to swerve into my lane. Oh my goodness gracious. People are crazy. So anyway, you have to create a healthy boundary for yourself. If your boss asks you Why are you taking off? Where are you going? How long are you going to be there? You don't have to answer those questions. You can write it on your time off request, and you can let her know, listen, I'm going out of town and I'm not going to be back until this date. She does not need to know why you're going. She does not need to know where you're going or what you're going to do when you're there. That is overstepping her boundaries. It's not a personal relationship. She's not your friend. She's your boss. So the only thing you are required to do is to tell her when you need off and how long you're going to be gone, and to use your vacation days for that. Sometimes people themselves don't have boundaries, so they don't know how to respect you and your boundaries because they don't know what they are. Henry, I think it's Townsend or Cloud, has several books called Boundaries. Boundaries in dating, boundaries in friendships, boundaries in work, tons and tons of different versions of the Boundaries book. And I highly encourage you to read it, especially if you're dating. There is a Boundaries in Dating book. But so often people overstep our boundaries and hurt us, and we don't realize if we had a boundary in place, they wouldn't have had the chance to hurt us. They wouldn't have had the chance to do that thing that caused us pain or caused us emotional trauma. If we would have just set a boundary in place to say, hey, this is as far as you're allowed to go. I'm not going to let you any closer to my heart. I'm not going to let you any closer to this thing. And that's not necessarily a wall. That's protecting yourself, right? It's like if you buy a house, you have a property line. Wouldn't you like to know where that property line starts and where that property line ends? A lot of people put fences up so that their neighbors know, hey, this is my yard. Don't let your dog be running crazy in it. This is my yard. Don't be, ruining my grass. Don't be ruining this. This is my yard. This yard belongs to me. Sometimes you have to do that with people. You have to let them know, hey, this is my personal space. This belongs to me. And I'm not going to let you overstep your boundary and come up on my field, my spiritual field, my mental field, my emotional field. No, we're not close like that. And sometimes, honestly, like I've struggled with that. People, because I have different levels of friendship. So I have like my day ones that have been with me side by side through some of the ugliest, hardest situations in my life. Then I have the next level, the next level, the next level, the next level. Not everybody in my life I would consider a best friend. I probably have 3 best friends, and my number one is always my mom and daddy. They will always be my very best friends until we're all reunited in heaven, and we'll be best friends there too. But they know more about me than anybody else. I don't let people get that close to me, because it's like, okay, you could be in a jewelry store. Where is the expensive jewelry? Where is the expensive diamonds? Are they out on display? No, they're not. They're in a vault somewhere. The biggest diamonds that diamond store has do not sit on the counter. They're in a vault in the back. And the only people that get to see them are the people that are serious and that show their interest and that show that they know the value of those and that they have the ability to pay for them. I'll say that again. That they know the value of them and they have the ability to pay for them. Some people in your life don't have the ability to pay for your time. And I'm not saying with money. I'm saying that they don't know the value of it. Some people take it for granted. Some people want you to bend over backwards for them, and they're not willing to do the same for you. I've had a lot of people in my life do that. And one of my friends, she's so funny. She's like, girl, you need to match energy. If they give you $1, you give them $1. If they give you $5, you give them $5. If they give you $100, you give them $100. Match, and I'm saying money, but I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about time and intention and effort. If somebody is not putting any effort forth towards your friendship, towards your relationship, towards whatever, don't you dare go and fix all the effort they're not putting in and you put it in. Honey child, no. You match their effort. If they're only giving you a mile, give them a mile. If they're, going to give you 2 miles, give them 2 miles. And yes, I know the Bible says, be an extra mile or go the extra mile. Yes, that's one thing. But there is a time and a place for that. And at no point should you be picking up all the slack in a relationship. At no point should you be picking up all the slack in a friendship. Because what's going to happen is if you don't set a boundary, they're going to take advantage of you. they're going to overstep their boundaries because none have been set forward. So, with all that to say, I'm going to keep this a short one today, but I do want you to set boundaries for yourself. I want you to set boundaries for yourself in dating. I want you to realize, okay, this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. I want you to set boundaries in your friendships. I want you to realize that you are worthy of a friend that puts in just as much effort as you put in, that you are worthy of a relationship with somebody that puts in just as much effort as you put in, and that you are worthy of people to respect, hey, you've gone too far. You're not allowed to go any farther than that. You're allowed to have boundaries. You're allowed to say, this is as far as you can go, right? This is private property. This is as far as you can go. You are not permitted to go any farther. Please back up. Please step away from the vehicle. I just want to encourage you. You're allowed to have boundaries. And I highly, highly, highly encourage you to have boundaries. Boundaries are for your protection. Get the book Boundaries on, you can get it on Amazon. I think it's like $3 or $4. You can probably get a used version. If you're in the Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Naples, Sarasota area, there's an amazing Christian bookstore called Christ-Centered Book and Music, and they can order it for you. I'm sure they have 1 million copies on hand, but if they don't have 1 million copies on hand, they can order it for you. So Christ-Centered, you can also order online. You can call them and they can ship it to you. Danny Vera is the owner. He's amazing. I can't say enough good things about him. And he is a local family-owned and operated business that has been in business for over 20 years. And I highly encourage you to support him and have some boundaries. It'll save your life. I love y'all. Have a good day. Catch you in the next one. Oh, I forgot. You are seen. You are celebrated. And you are loved. I love you, but more importantly, God loves you. I'll catch you in the next one.